So this is a short sweet film basically about how I spool up with a tapered mainline. Now, use a tapered mainline on waters generally where leaders are banned. You're not allowed any knots or anything like that in the mainline. So I've got a water that requires just that, and so it's time to spool up with some Orbit mainline. That's 12 pounds mainline that goes through to a 35 pound leader, no knots, anything like that. But a lot of people ask me exactly how you get it onto the spool perfectly. Loads of different methods you can do, but I'm going to show you mine one. Now, if you've got Shimano Ultegra XTB reels with the 14,000s, Dave Levy has told me that if you use the 6,000 sort of spool caps that come with it, like the spool backers almost, I'm not sure what they're called, then apparently our Orbit, the Ridge Monkey Orbit, fits onto them perfectly and comes right to the lip of the spool. So if you have got them, use those. It's the 6,000s. However, I haven't got any. I haven't got that luxury, so I'm going to show you how to do it without those. I apologise for the lazy dog lying next to me. He won't go anywhere. He's sunbathing. So first things first, I actually like to soak the Orbit mainline in lukewarm water, just so it takes on a little bit of water and goes nice and supple and isn't dry on the spool. That helps it just to sit nicer, prevents it coiling or anything like that. So anyway, let's get started. So I've got myself my brand new nice shiny Shimano spool. I get my rod like that. There's no need for the whole rod, you only need half a section. Just do the reel handle up like that. Open the bail arm. Now, first things first, what I like to do is add my tapered mono. So I simply remove that from the spool, get the mono like that, place it onto the spool, and I simply wrap it round a few times just to keep it nice and tight and in place. That just starts the whole process off. Okay, with everything in place, spool on as shown there. Just put your finger on the spool just to hold that line in place. Put the spool cap back on. Okay, so I then begin reeling the line on. Okay, now there's 3 lengths of tapered line on there, so you basically get 3 lengths of 300 meters. So I'm going to keep reeling this until my first length of leader has been used. Right, so with that line on the reel, I then attach my backing line, which is just any old line really. It's just some old line that I had on another spool, as you can see here. I'm going to use that as backing line, try and keep the knot as small as you possibly can, and then start reeling. And then basically what you want to do is reel the backing line all the way to the edge of the spool. Now, as you can see, I've filled the backing right to the edge of the spool. So now is the time to transfer all of this line onto a fresh spool. So remove that like so, pop your new spool on. Now of course you're going to have some spare spools to allow you to do this. Okay. Now, just as I did before, I get the end of the spool, end of the line even, and all I do is just wrap it around a few times, and just wrap it around a few times over it like so. Cool. Flick the old bail arm over, and then all you need to do is reel. Okay, you will just start to notice that we're getting close to the tapered line now, because you'll hear the knot catching on the spool. Now, one thing that's mega important is to make sure that you place the knot towards the bottom of the spool so that it can bed in nicely, so the line can bed in nicely over the top of that. Okay, there we go, all nicely at the bottom of the spool, as you can see. Then we start reeling over the top, and our leader, or tapered line and leader, etc., will start going on over the top. And before long you will get right to the edge of the spool, and you will slowly be getting to your leader, and there it is. Perfect. Lovely, look at that line lay, absolutely spot on. Spot on line lay that. Then all I do is wrap it around the spool and tuck it under the line clip to keep it nice and safe, wherever that is. There somewhere. There it is. Just like that. Rigged up. Ready to go. Awesome. Job done.